we have created the Qaylo Dhaan band, which is one of the most popular Somali bands that exist today. And from time to time, we write songs about the current situation of the country. qalqal nagu beer qaraxii lala beegsaday ardadii qalin jabinaysay qasaaraha na gaaray waa midaan qiila loo hayn. That's the beginning of the song in Somali, and if I attempt to translate it into English, it's as follows. The blast that targeted the graduating students spread havoc and terror among us. There can be no justification whatsoever the loss inflicted on us. That's the beginning of the song. Other bits goes to the names of people who were killed. I didn't mention everybody there, but I have mentioned few, and I also said and other more. So that's the beginning of the song, and the song itself talks about touch upon different aspects of the Somali situation. I'm saying, not only there is a war going on, however, this is something which is engineered from outside. And, we Somalis, we don't know why we are fighting. And I conclude by telling the Somalis, wake up Somalis, we better all die than living like this. That's how it concludes. Somali ka tosa wad qalibantene. That's a song about the Qaylo Dhaan itself. I don't know if you know my background. I wasn't a songwriter or anything. So all of a sudden, when I saw this horrible scene on the TVs, I just I call sometimes my tears. I came from work, looking at the TV, and I saw the blast and the pain. So I just couldn't watch it. So I went to a room and I just shed tears. And I remember one reporter, the words he was saying, the graduating students. That's how I started the song. And then I just start writing down the lyrics. It just came from my mind, and non-stop. So it was something I never thought that I'll write a song like that. And all of a sudden, after I have written the lyrics, I went to a brother of mine who is a great writer of songs, and I said, brother, this is what I have written, can you check? And he said, unbelievable. Abdi, are you sure you wrote this? And I said, yes, I did. And then he said, this is unbelievable. So we have to go to another brother of ours who is, a great singer. He's one of the best Somali singers. Not only he sings, but he puts music into the songs. Chogla, everybody knows. That's when we put everything together. And my brother, the one who, put the music into the song, rang up some of his friends, and he said, we got this song. Are you interested in taking part? Within 48 hours, it was on, the Somali TVs. So soon after that, I was inundated with phone calls, emails, everything. I remember even some people crying, and leaving a message on my voicemail. They were really touched by the song. I have received thousands. It's not only hundreds. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of people thanking me for that. A few days after the song came out, I received someone left a message on my voicemail threatening me with death. So I went to the police. It was in London, yes. I went to Tottenham Police and I reported And I, showed the police officer. I said, I have received this after I wrote this song. The police officer took a statement from me and asked me, how seriously it was. And I told him, it was very serious. And the police said, they wrote to me a few weeks later and said, if you don't think, it's, your life is in danger and, we cannot pursue this case. So please let us know if you receive further calls. I've received emails, but I never bothered. And I was told not to go to Somalia to buy, the people who actually send me the threats. And I said, I'll go. I've been to everywhere. I've been to East Africa, and nothing happened because I believe what I've done was right, and I'll do it as long as it's needed. Songs and poetry, has a role to play in Somalia, and I believe the Qaylo Dhaan song and others that followed, played that role. I think before we wrote Qaylo Dhaan, nobody was able to challenge or say anything against Alshabaab. And, we believe that, song encouraged people to speak up, to rise up and, challenge, Alshabaab and other people who are actually destroying Somalia. I don't know whether it was a coincidence. A week after we wrote that song, Alshabaab banned people listening to music. And the Alshabaab themselves, have denied that they were behind the blast at Shamo Hotel. I believe it's the song, because they have realized how powerful the message was. And, and I believe it's through poetry and, songs that will enable the Somalis to get message, and it's a way to disseminate, the good news. I believe, the song has done a tremendous, thing. I always say, terrorists, whatever they are on the land and not in the sea, and as you know, billions of pounds are spent, either monthly or yearly on the Somali seas, where actually, if it was utilized properly, on the ground, it would have yielded, a tangible outcome. However, I don't know why, our government here, when I call our government, I mean the British government, because don't forget I'm a British citizen and I'm Somali too. So I have a duty to, the government here to advise them where, how to do this. So I believe had they use the resource wisely and, invest in the community here and the people on the ground, in Somalia, piracy and terrorism would have been stopped by now.
قرن